Is there anything unique that ISB does when it comes to shortlisting applicants? Like, is there anything unique apart from whatever the rest of the colleges do?
I'll take up and then maybe Manan can add. So number one, I think what ISB primarily focuses on is the kind of diversity you're bringing to the. So it's just not what they're writing, but they actually look for diversity. If you're a male engineer, there's some reason why you're in this school, because not only because you're a male and an engineer from a really good college and you have great grades. This is something that they will, this is something that's normal for them. I mean, getting good grades, having a great undergrad, having best work experience is something which,
It's like a
like,
benchmark.
beyond which, this is when they'll start looking for it. So
Yeah.
like that extra portion, that diversity portion, and you will 100%, like we see it in our peers, like you'll have that extra portion. We're
Oh.
sitting in a classroom with doctors and models and pilots and army people, like it's beautiful. Yeah.
And Manu, what do you think about it?
I think if you look at ISB's admission process, it's very different from IIM's. So IIM have their cutoffs on the basis of CAT score, right?
Mhm.
In ISB, that is not the case. So you can have GMAT from 620 to 780, right? So academics is just one part of it. You have a profile which includes academics, extracurriculars, and your work ex. So
Mhm.
there are three primary parts to it, right? So if you are able to show good grades in your undergrad, and if you have a good undergrad college, let's say if you have an IIT Delhi or something, so you basically tick that box. But if you don't have really good work ex, or it's a very generic work ex, or you have not created impact in your work ex, then you basically are in a generalized pool, right? You don't really add, as Tanya also said, that you are not really adding anything to the cohort. So basically you have to, even if you're from, let's say, a tier 3 college or tier 2 college, and you have really good work ex, you have done a startup, you have done some extracurricular that really differentiates you, you really have a chance against. And that is how ISB is able to make the cohort diverse as well. So they will not only pick from, in terms of location also, if you see, there are a lot of folks from Mumbai, Delhi, South, right? So it's a good mix of people that they bring in, and the focus is on diversity and not really that they only want people who will go into consulting or finance or marketing. They really want to give everybody an experience that they can learn from. Everybody can have a different perspective on looking at things. So yeah, the admission process makes it yeah, the difference is in the admission process, I think, why ISB is apart from IMs. Yeah.
Is looking for the icing on the cake. And Tanya already mentioned that there's this specific benchmark that all of the students need to satisfy that's overlooked by the admission committee. If there's a specific student who fails to get the good grades or get good work ex, is there any other way he can get into ISB? Like you talked of somebody running a startup. If that person who's running a startup has very poor grades and very poor, no work ex at all, will he get into ISB if he applies?
Tanya, want to take that up, or I should?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the admissions, like this thing is very subjective. First of all, what you're saying, in a very given year, if they already have a lot of applicants who are like not meeting the education and the work experience in the this thing criteria, but a lot of startups, then it might. So of course, from year to year, it depends. But like I mentioned, ISP, like any other business school, it does give a lot of importance to grades and work experience in undergrad. Like that is that, like what Manan and I
Uncompromising.
were trying to say, that is not overlooked. Like that they look, but that is like it's beyond that what they look. But yes, of course, we have seen that there are some exceptions, but then these exceptions have to be like really graded. Can't be just like any other startup. Like you need to like, if you're average in say three things, then you really need to be outstanding in that one thing. And if they see that you're outstanding in that one thing, it compensates for being average in all other things.
Makes sense.
But
Makes
yeah.
sense. Anything else, Manan?
No, I think I completely agree, and it's really about how what is the impact that you have created through your work or your extracurricular. It's not just about having a name in your resume or your profile. It's the impact that you're able to show through your work. So yeah, I think out of the three factors that I mentioned, you have to really, to be safe. You can say that you have a chance at ISB. You really need to have at least two of those things in your favor, but if you have one, make sure that it's like nobody can compete with you.
Outstanding.
So yeah,
World
yeah.
class. Yeah.